Students, today we will discuss about the work, definition of work, unit of work, work done by a constant force, work done by a variable force. So, what is the definition of work? Definition of work is defined as the product of the force and the displacement in the direction of the force applied. For example, if we have a object placed on a smooth surface and we apply a force that on this block and displacement takes place in this direction, in the direction of the force, then work will be equal to force into displacement. Therefore, we can write this work as the product of force and displacement. As we know, students, force is a vector quantity and as displacement is also a vector quantity, but the product of these two vector quantities is a scalar quantity. So, work is also defined as the dot product of force and displacement. Now, we can define the work as work is defined as the product of force and displacement in the direction of force applied. W equal to force into displacement. The unit of work is joule. In SI system, in CGS system, its unit is erg. There is relation between the joule and the erg. 1 joule equal to 10 to the power 7 erg, or we can say 1 erg equal to 10 to the power minus 7 joule. Work is a scalar quantity. Work is a scalar quantity. Work done by constant force. Suppose we apply the constant force on an object F, then there is a displacement in it, then we know that very well work equal to Fs. But if we apply the force in this direction at an angle theta with the direction of displacement, then we take the component of this force in the direction of the displacement, that is F cos theta. So, this force becomes cos theta, and here the displacement is, therefore work will be equal to force, that is F cos theta, and the displacement. On the basis of the angle between displacement and the force, we can categorize this work as we can decide the nature of the work as positive, negative and 0. When theta is less than 90 degree, then work is said to be positive. For example, here we see that this angle is less than 90 degree, then work done by this force will be positive. Second case, when theta is equal to 90 degree, then the work done will be equal to 0. For example, if a person carrying a bag in his hand and moving in forward direction, then weight will act in this direction mg, and to hold the bag in his hand, the person will apply the force in opposite direction to that of the weight of the bag. Therefore, the angle between this displacement and the force is 90 degree. So, work done by this person will be equal to 0. Or if an object is revolving on a circular path, in this case the centripetal force is acting towards the center of this circle and displacement will take in this direction, that is very small amount of the displacement, and the angle between this displacement and centripetal force is 90 degree. Therefore, work done by this centripetal force is always 0, that is equal to 0. Now, the third case is when theta is greater than 90 degree, then work is negative. That is, suppose when we apply the brake in a moving car, then the force of friction acts in opposite direction to that of the motion of the car, or we can say the displacement of the car, then work done by the friction will be equal to negative. Or when we try to carry an object on an inclined plane, in that case work done by the component of this weight will be negative, right? Or if we carry an object in the upward direction from the ground, then work done by the gravity will be equal to negative. These are some examples related to the nature of the work. When theta is less than 90, work positive. When theta is 90, work 0, and when theta is greater than, work is negative. Work done by a variable force. In portion QR is Fx delta x2. Total work done from P to R will be equal to Fx delta x1 plus Fx delta x2. Now we can divide this path from point A to B in n portions, then we can add on all these portions to find out from the path A to B. So total work done from point A to B equal to Fx delta x1 plus Fx delta x2 and so on. Or we can write summation sign fx delta xi. We can take the limit I equal to 1 to n. Now if we divide these portions in a very small, means delta x tends to 0. In that case, if delta x tends to 0, means these portions are very small, then we take the limit, delta x tends to 0. In that case, we will replace this summation sign from the integration. Then total work will be equal to integration from point A to point B fx dx. Dx means it's a very small value, that is infinitesimally small value of the displacement. In this way we can find out the work done by the variable force. Now we can understand this work done by a variable force by graphical method. Here we have drawn a graph in which the displacement is taken on the x-axis and the variable force is taken on y-axis, and we displace an object from point A to B. Here we have taken a small rectangle PQR. This is the portion when an object is displaced from point P to point Q by applying this force Fx. So we write it like this: work done delta W equal to Fx into delta x, and this is also equal to area of rectangle PQRS. If we take the value from point A to B, then total work done by the variable force will be equal to integration from point A to B Fx, as we have discussed earlier, and this will also be equal to area under the curve AB, or area of AB, C, and this point can be as D, area of ABCD. This is the total work done by the variable force. Hence we can find out the amount of work by the graphical method and this total work done by the variable force by the integration method. Students, we will discuss about the kinetic energy. The energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion is called as the kinetic energy. The energy possessed by an object by virtue of its motion is called kinetic energy. it is a scalar quantity and its SI unit is joule. Now we can find out the kinetic energy of an object. This is an object. We apply the force on it. This is the constant force, and because of this constant force, the body will have the constant acceleration and it will acquire some velocity. As the object we have considered here at rest, so its initial velocity at this point is 0, but when we apply the force, it will have the acceleration and its velocity will change to v. The displacement of this object from initial position to final position is s. So what is the amount of work done on this object? That is W equal to force into displacement. And what is the force? Force equal to ma from Newton's second law. Newton's second law, we know that F equal to ma. Now we have to find out the value of As. How can we find out? We use this equation, third equation of motion. So using the equation v square equal to u square plus 2as. As we have considered its initial velocity is 0, then it will be equal to 2as v square, or as will be equal to v square divided by 2. Now we can put this value here, then we see what happens. W equal to m into v square divided by 2. Therefore, here we see that work equal to half mv square. As we know, this amount of work done by this force will be converted into kinetic energy of it. So work will be equal to kinetic energy. As we know, work is the transferred energy. So work is equal to kinetic energy, or kinetic energy will be equal to half mv square. So in this way we obtain the relation for kinetic energy of an object. Here we see that kinetic energy depends on mass of an object and on the velocity. If we double the velocity, the kinetic energy becomes 4 times to that of the initial velocity. So kinetic energy, so we can define this energy possessed by an object by virtue of its motion. So if we increase the velocity of an object, then its kinetic energy also increases, and this kinetic energy also depends on the mass of an object. If we increase the mass of an object, then kinetic energy also increases. Now students, we will discuss about the potential energy of an object. What is the potential energy? Potential energy of an object is the energy possessed by it by virtue of its position. So potential energy, we will discuss about the potential energy. Suppose we have an object initially placed on the surface of earth, or we can write surface on object is placed on a suppose the object is placed, Suppose object is placed on a surface and we raise in the upward direction against the gravity. Here we are moving this object without any acceleration by applying an external force which is equal to the weight of the object. Weight of the object is acting in downward direction and the external force which we are applying on it to raise certain height h above the ground is F. So, first we write the definition of it. The energy possessed by an object by virtue of its position is called potential energy. Now the work done in raising the object to a height h against gravity is equal to work equal to force into displacement. We know it very well, and this force is equal to the mg. As we are applying this force which is equal in magnitude mg and displacement is h. So therefore this work done is converted into potential energy of the object, and this is equal to mgh. Here we see that potential energy depends on mass, acceleration due to gravity and the height of the object. If we increase the height of the object, potential energy increases. Potential energy depends on acceleration due to gravity also, so its value is different on different planets for the same height. It also depends on the mass of the object. If we increase the mass for the constant acceleration and the height, then potential energy will also increase. Its unit is joule in SI system. Its unit is joule in SI system, and it is also a scalar quantity. Discuss about the potential energy of a spring. In case of the spring, when spring is elongated or compressed, it stores the potential energy in it. Suppose potential energy of a spring. Suppose we have the object placed on a smooth surface and this object is attached to a spring. This is the spring, and other end of the spring is attached to a rigid support. When we apply a external force on it in this direction, then a restoring force acts on it in opposite direction of it. According to Hooke's law, this restoring force depends on the extension or compression. When there is a extension in the spring, then this F is directly proportional to X. As this force F is known as the restoring force because it tries to bring the spring in its original state or the rest position. Then according to Hooke's law, the restoring force F is directly proportional to x. As I have applied the external force in this direction, so extension will also takes place in this direction, but this force is acting in opposite direction to that of the extension of the spring, so it will be represented with negative sign, or minus F will be equal to kx, where k is constant of proportionality. K is constant of proportionality. K will be equal to minus F divided by x. Therefore, its unit is Newton per meter. It also depends on, this K depends on length of the spring, or we can say it is inversely proportional to the length of the spring. If the spring is longer, then value of K is less, and in case of a small length spring, the value of K will be more. Now minus F equal to Kx. Suppose we displace this spring through a infinitesimally small displacement, then small work done will be given by dW will be equal to F dx. As this F is negative, therefore I will write this force as negative here, and we know the value of this negative F equal to Kx, so we put this value here, that is Kx dx. If this spring is stretched to a distance x from its rest position, then to find out the total work done from this point O to point A, we integrated, then total work done equal to integration from 0 to A, or we can write x kx dx. When we integrate it, we get kx square divided by 2. We take the limits from 0 to x. Therefore, this work done will be equal to half kx square. This work done is converted into potential energy of the spring. Now we discuss about the work energy theorem. Work energy theorem. It states that the work done on an object by a constant force is equal to change in kinetic energy. From third equation of motion, we know that V square equal to u square plus 2as, or we can write 2as equal to v square minus u square. Now we multiply this equation by half of the mass of the object. On both sides, half of mass 2as will be equal to half of mass into v square minus u square. This is equal to half mv square minus half mu square equal to, here 2 cancelled out, and this will be equal to mas. As we know from Newton's second law, F equal to ma. So this ma will be equal to F as equal to half mv square minus half mu square. This Fs is equal to the work done, amount of work done. So work done is equal to change in kinetic energy.